Mike Sonko, and he says that he's already hit the ground running, of course, with the Ngarisha GG initiative. We also have Anwai Guru, who is somebody who has been previously, followed with quite a number of scandals, corruption scandals. And of course, going back to Mike Sonko, a very controversial past. What kind of point are they going to be trying to make with this particular election of them into office?
Well, it's an interesting question. The thing is, if we start from the Nairobi city, from where I sit, and my personal opinion and observation on this is, I mean, it's good that the Sonko rescue team has hit the ground running with clearing the posters and cleaning. I saw a lot of cleaning at the governor's office and all that. But more importantly, I hope that, and the word I'm trying to get to is systems. The first thing is that the Nairobi County has a population of more than 3 million. We have so many sub-counties, and we have water problems, health problems, garbage all over the city, and all that. And the point I'm getting to here is that even what the governor was doing, it's good, but we need to get the systems right in order to reach, hopefully, every Nairobian in terms of collection of garbage, water in the taps, and the health services and all that. So I hope that Mike Sonko will use that goodwill, which he has, to ensure that every department in Nairobi city is running, so that then you are able to reach a critical majority of Kenyans. Otherwise, what they are doing is good, but we require systems which are scaled up in order to ensure long-term first, and then secondly, reach a critical, or hopefully every Nairobian will receive those services. And this goes back to planning, allocating resources, and follow-up to ensure that county functions are performed in a way that benefits all Nairobi residents, which means you should have the laws in place, the regulations in place, the resources in place to ensure a full scale-up service provision. Sonko Rescue Team can continue with what they do. It's fine, but he's the governor for Nairobi, and he needs to ensure that laws, policies, resources are focused at service delivery on a scale that benefits Nairobians. That is my expectation.
All right. We have to wind up, but just a brief comment maybe on the relationship between the national government and the county government. You mentioned it, in passing a bit earlier on, but, moving forward, how do we prevent the conflict that you've seen previously between the two levels of government?
Okay, thank you. That's a very interesting and deep question. If you look at devolved governance in this country, the first thing we have to acknowledge is that for over 70 years, we have had a very centralized system of government, which we inherited from the colonial government, and which means that most of the decisions, most of the resources, most of the powers were at the center. And the devolution disrupted that kind of system, because some decision-making, some power, some resources were transferred to the 47 county governments. What the national and county officials need to recognize in equal measure is that the two levels of government are constitutional equals, so that when you're making a decision, just know that there is, let me call it, a closet partner in that decision. So I'll give an example. Governors really complained about the procurement of medical equipment the other time. That is not how you run a devolved system of government. What you do is you bring together the 47 county governments, they identify the strategic resources they need for service delivery, those they can do themselves, and that which the national government can do. On the basis of that, you procure. You don't procure and then tell them, accede to this procurement. So the point I'm bringing is this, especially the national level. They need to recognize that governance is divided between the two levels of government. The other point also is the Intergovernmental Relations Technical Committee, which is already in place, needs to be capacity built to ensure that it can facilitate the consultative approach to governance between the two levels of government. And the most important thing is that there is goodwill between the two levels of government to ensure that the Intergovernmental Relations Technical Committee, the Council of Governance, the sectoral committees operate on the basis of a two-tiered system of governance.
All right.
Once that principle is recognized, all other disputes will be solved, or they will never occur, and if they occur, there will be structures to solve them.
What about political interference?
The political interference, yes, it's there, but, you know, it needs to be tempered with the law.
Yeah.
And especially, you know, once there's political will, there'll be minimal or no political interference. The interference comes first because people don't recognize boundaries. If we inculcate a political culture of ceding space to county governments and ensuring that county governance is recognized in the national governance sphere, then even that political interference will automatically just disappear from the surface.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Conrad Bosire. He is a devolution expert, holds a PhD in devolution. He's also an advisor at the Katiba Institute in regards to matters devolution. He's been speaking to us about the change of guard that we're seeing across the country, new governors taking positions. We have 24 new governors. Really what the past is, what they can learn from the past, of course, going into this second term of devolution here in the country. All right, so we want to take a short commercial break. When we come back, we'll be going into a little bit of politics, just looking forward into the NASA petition, the kind of parliament that we'll be having, and so much more. That conversation is coming up in a few minutes. Don't go away. Kivumbi 2017 continues shortly.
This is KTN News.
An incredible duel. They are taking each other to places they didn't know existed. And look at Helena Beery. She is streaking away.